Tell me about the no shirt, dude. What's up with it, dude? Because I seriously, you know who you remind? You're like Bert Kreischer right now. You know that comedian, dude, who just has his shirt off all the time, dude. That's
Isn't he
you
disgusting? He's disgusting though. If you're at home, or if you live in a place where it gets over 100 degrees, you can wear your shirt whenever you want, as long as you're not disgusting.
I love it, dude. So what made
No, it's hot. I've been doing a lot of walks. I mean, everybody's at home, so you go for these walks and you start getting your sweat on. So I take my shirt off, and when I get home, you know, and no one sees. That's the best part about working online. No one sees that you're in your underwear. That's the best part. I'd actually say one of the best parts about working on the internet is that you can dick around all day, and somehow we still make money, you know, helping people, promoting things, and having fun with it. I think the real heroes, honestly, is these people like my fiance. They go to the hospital.
Yep.
One, they complained to her yesterday. They complained about her fingernails. They said, "Oh, your fingernails can't be painted." And she's like, "Do you want me to go home now? Do you want me to help take care of these people?" You know, people in her hospital have corona.
Wow.
Can you imagine? Let me think of a virus that doesn't kill you but makes you really sick and could likely kill you. And I said, "Adam, why don't you come over to my house? I have it, and you might not get it, but just come over." Like, that's some crazy thing for you know. My biggest worry is like, are you going to see me without a shirt on?
But dude, what's with the exercise? I know you're biking a lot, dude. You're like a bike hats, dude. Why biking? Yeah. What's with you and biking? Like, what's the deal with you and biking?
Yeah, like a Jerry Seinfeld. I think for everyone, I don't know about your fitness evolution. I'm eating lasagna. I don't know about everyone's got their own kind of fitness story and experience. I got dumped, maybe 10 years ago on a bike ride, and she's like, "You're fat," which I was. "You're hungover," which I was. "You're lazy," which I wasn't always lazy, but I was just I went out and partied the night before this bike ride, and I could barely finish the bike ride. Yep. It was called the Worst Fest. So anyways, the short of that is that I started just getting into health. My buddy from mybodytutor.com is one of my best friends, got me into it. And I think for everyone in their health, they got to find something that's sustainable from a food perspective and from an activity perspective. And I've evolved it. It's been so many varieties. I went anorexic, basically. I was like tiny, skinny one, and I just ran a lot. And then I said, this is boring. And so the evolution to where I'm at today, because I won't bore you with all the step-by-step, is, you know, I want to have a certain look of a body.
Right.
And then I want to enjoy certain activities and certain eating habits and drinking habits. So basically biking, I like going places. I like that I get to go somewhere instead of running. I feel like running, you really need to be on the run from the cops.
Damn fucking slow is what it is, man.
It's slow. You don't get much, right?
Do you get that like high when you're doing the biking? I mean, do you get that like you push through a certain amount of exercise, a certain amount of pain, and then you get to the other side? Or so that kind of runner's high with your bike, or what is it? Or is it not that?
Yeah, so I think running is a part. I'll just share a few other things that I've been exercising for the audience if they're interested. Like, I love boxing. That's been I have a boxing Oculus, and I also have a trainer that comes to the house. So I've been really getting into those two. And then I use PushFit, which is an app I love. I've mentioned it a bunch. It's a tracking app to just track all my push-ups. So I've been trying to do 100,000 push-ups this year. Today I'm at 125. Fuck. I've got a lot to do.
Well, so wait, are you giving yourself breaks in between, like multiple days to recover, try to get big?
For the push-ups, not really, but today I did 25 in the morning when I woke up, and then 50, and then I try to do it to do a reward. So if I want to have alcohol, or I'm playing a lot of chess, so you can see my chessboard over here. Yeah. Before I fuck around, I have to go do some push-ups.
So you're doing pain before you do something pleasurable. Is that's the idea?
Yeah, just like I want to earn it. I think that's the way my mind likes to it's nice to have, even, it's like spending money. I could afford very nice things, and even if, I'm still so practical, I wouldn't buy them. Yeah. But I like that my friend encouraged me. He's like, if you want to, I got a new bike this year, but I only bought it after last year. I biked over 3,000 miles. And I said, you can't get any new bike until you actually do this.
Good for you.
And so in terms of the suffering, I think Lance Armstrong, or someone said it really well, is that biking is really, actually, it was one of my favorite books of all time so far. It's called The Secret Race by Tyler Hamilton. It's Lance Armstrong's teammate. And this book was phenomenal. And I think he actually said it, is that biking is a true measurement of suffering. And so whoever can suffer more will win.
It's funny.
And I've been biking, I like biking more socially and casually. I don't like this, like, I don't know. I like that part of it, but definitely I have a trainer at home, or when I go biking, there are moments where I get to this sense of myself, and this is not as an arrogant, but I don't know where it comes from. And it's like, you are built for this. And I start getting these, you are built for this. And I start getting these fucking mantras, and these like,
I am fucking.
Yeah, dude. Dude, I go all the way with that. I'm built for this. Like even 2 days ago, I was putting on some Odessa. Odessa is fucking fire. And somehow in my head, it comes to me. It's like, this is your time to shine.
Dude, good for you, man.
It's funny
that it's funny you mentioned the biking. I have a friend here. A lot of people in Costa Rica is it's big for biking, which is crazy because it's like the most dangerous fucking place in the world to bike because you're gonna get hit. Everybody I know in Costa Rica, a friend of mine said, if you're a biker here in Costa Rica, everybody's got a story of being hit or fucking run off the road or whatever, right? And he's telling me about biking, and I'm like, oh, why are the best bikers like 25? Like, when do they hit their peak? He's like, no, young 30s, mid 30s. He's like, that's when they hit their peak. And I'm like, that seems old. Like when I think of NFL or basketball, it seems old. He's like, no, man, those guys have learned how to suffer.
You know, it's funny you say that. I've noticed that with UFC fighters.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of 20-year-olds winning. You see, and I always makes me feel good about myself. I'm 38. Most of the champs are 30.
Yeah.
Most of the champs you go look at them, I'm like, dude, how are you so old? So I don't know the science or how it got to be like that, but that's just an observation I've noticed.
Changing gears here. Sumo App Sumo. One thing I've always wondered, Sumo is such a great domain name. Why it seems like that's not your main business though. Why isn't Sumo your main business?
It's a longer story. Is most of your audience entrepreneurs, and are they in Costa Rica?
No, this is me, man. Most of my audience is people moving to Costa Rica. This is me just getting into the.
No, for sure.
I do a lot of entrepreneur kind of shows because this is what I love. Yeah.
For sure, you got to do the things makes it more fun for the audience if you're excited.
Absolutely.
I've been to Costa Rica, and the thing I'd like to say, there's 3 things about Costa Rica: cocaine, hookers, and great beaches. That's when I think of Costa Rica. That's what I think.
You went at 28 years old. Let me guess.
I don't do coke and I don't do hookers. I do beaches. It's probably around 28 to 30.
Yeah. So you've experienced the 28 to 30 Costa Rica. The 39-year-old Noah would have a very different experience. The 39-year-old Noah would go to a luxury boutique eco lodge, right, where everything's sustainable, and the chef comes out and handcrafts a meal based on what you like and what's fresh that day. That's the Costa Rica that most people who have some money and some time in their hands enjoy. Not the cocaine and hookers. I mean, it's possible, but that's not the best part of Costa Rica. No, Costa Rica is way better than that.
I feel you. You got me. You triggered a thought about Las Vegas. I dated a girl 10 years ago or 7 years ago who lived in Las Vegas, but she lived in Henderson. So if you know Vegas, that's like the burbs.
Okay.
And she doesn't drink, she doesn't party, she doesn't club or anything. So for, the 2.5 years we dated, when I went to Vegas, we'd watch movies and we'd cook and we'd go to she was a swing dancer. And so we'd go, she'd go dance and stuff. And only in the past few years, I was like, oh my God, these people are partying.
No, if that was your experience at Costa Rica, man, you got to come back, man.
I might come visit you.
No, it's amazing. I'm a big fan of Costa Rica. I try and sell it. It's getting absolutely brutalized right now, and that's why I've been following you quite. Oh man, well 30% of the GDP is tourism, right?
Wow.
And so it literally a week and a half ago, 10 days ago, stopped, like full stopped, right? They shut the airports down. Nobody's coming in. So the 1,500 hotels in Costa Rica just shuttered, right? And so all those jobs gone, and it's brutal, man. It's brutal. I'm watching you because I'm watching you say, hey, everybody preserve capital, right? And I understand it from a business perspective. I understand it from a small business perspective. Even my wife, we have a soap company. We do refillable soaps for these hotels, right? And she's talking with people, guys who have owned hotels for 20 years. They're 65 years old. They're crying on the phone. Like they're closed and they don't know what they're going to do. They don't know if they're ever going to even open again, right? It's like that. And because the way it is, most small businesses, dude, if they have a month of capital, they're in a good shape, right? Some place, I think it was the median business in the US has like 2 weeks of working capital, dude. It's crazy tight.
Okay. Right? You want to hear some real talk?
Yeah.
So I have millions of dollars in the bank and I am paranoid that I'm going to be going on the street. Right. And I don't mean it. And that it's not as an arrogant, but I'm telling you, my expenses are $3,000 a month. I am still paranoid that I don't have
tight, bro. You live,
bro. It's a tight pucker.
I'm
it's
triple you and I'm doing nothing.
Bro, it's a tight pucker. Let me tell you that. Looks like a starfish. And so it's not as a brag. And I hope the audience, it's not about that, but I'm saying The number one thing is that you need to have lower your cost of living and whatever you can do to put money in the bank that you don't even have to worry about it. And so I just never want to worry about it. But even now I'm worried.
Well, see, I take a little bit of the opposite. I understand completely what you're talking about, which is self-preservation, man. We all got to take care of
Everybody,
our families,
man.
right? Everybody does. And we've done that here. I mean, we're fortunate. We're not as fortunate as you, but we have money. We have businesses. We have properties,
I wasn't
right?
trying to brag. Your dick is bigger than mine.
You
have a way bigger
certainly
dick.
is not, dude. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. No, but you know what I'm saying? We're fortunate. We're the fortunate ones, right?
Are we fortunate, or are we fortunate, or did we choose to do certain things that we thought would be better?
Don't even go. Yes, I'm 100% on board.
And it's not as an arrogant thing.
Fortune favors the bold, right? I mean, there's no doubt about it. Why do we? Yes, there was not luck that you didn't luck into millions of dollars. You took risks, and you started businesses, and you provided value to thousands of people. 100%. I'm 100% on board there. But I do take a little bit of a different tact. I do take the tact of, look, when I'm talking to my wife about our product line, I'm like, look, we've got to extend our runway as long as possible so we can stay in business as long as possible to make sure we're here when the turnaround occurs, right? But at the same time, we got to put ourselves out there to try to keep as many people as we can on board, as many employees as we can, try and keep pushing and do the things where if we do have some money and we're not in a tight spot, where we begin putting money back into the system. Because if everybody just cuts back to nothing, we're screwed, dude, right? As a society, like, we've got to spend, right? It can't just be the government giving everybody $1,200 checks, right?
Yeah, I don't know. That's actually another thing I'm really conflicted about. And I think if any business, I chose to work in the thing. I'm lucky. Honestly, I don't believe in luck. I think you make your own luck. I don't 100%. Believe in hope. I don't believe in hoping for things.
We're on the same page.
I think there's two key things with that. I was blessed and lucky that my stepfather is an engineer. I was born in Silicon Valley. My dad was a copier salesman. And it turns out that all I have to do is just follow their interest. And that was something I got excited about. And I made a career out of that. And I can't believe I get paid to do what I do.
Yeah.
The second, I got lucky with that. I think now the question is, and this is the hard part, if you're out there and you got fucked by the virus, you're still alive, you still have food, you still have shelter. So now is the time to go become an entrepreneur, start businesses. I think the second point you're saying, Adam, is that this is where I'm conflicted. All this money's coming out. In my life, I've never seen a government be efficient.
Oh, God, dude.
So the question I have is, how does the money get distributed? And how does it not get taken advantage of? Because here's a question for myself. Should our company, whether we're profitable or not profitable, try to not make sure that we can sustain and take some capital that we've paid taxes into to hopefully help ourselves? And so I think there is going to be a lot of conflict about many people. I have a lot of friends who are very wealthy that have sent me analysis with their lawyers and accountants. I swear, this was immediately when it came out and said, here's all the ways we're going to take advantage of this. And part of me is like, that's fucked up. There's people more than you, more than me who need it. And on the other side, if everyone's getting more money and you're left out, you kind of get screwed potentially at the end. And it's a tough situation.
Yeah. I mean, I think I watched a video with you the other day where you were like, I hate to use the word take advantage, right? Because you understand that everybody's suffering. Well, not everybody, a whole lot of people are suffering, right? But that doesn't mean you can't see opportunities and take opportunities. I mean, I've looked back at the previous, 2008, 9/11, 2000, and missed opportunities that I missed, that my brother missed. I remember after 2008, I was screaming at my brother because he had some money on the sidelines. I'm like, why aren't you buying condos in Miami? The condos are $40,000 in Miami on the beach. I was like, buy four. Just buy four. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Could it go to 30,000? So you lose 10,000. What's your risk? But everybody gets so scared, right? You know what I mean? So I believe there's going to be amazing opportunities. I'm trying to, just look and try to develop, different opportunities. And part of it is doing more kind of content and stuff like that, just because I have more time,
I think there's going to be a lot more content out there. And so
there's
figuring out, everyone's at home like, well, now let me be a, Instagram.
Dude, I'm following your lead. I see like the Noon with Noah and, whatever you guys got going on.
We don't even know what we're doing. I mean, I'll tell you, we're just going wild. The thing that someone said that I think made me really be excited was, I'm not trying to go out and make money. I have no courses. I have nothing to sell, but I really am excited I thrive in this chaos. And I think I have a lot that I could teach or share or connect around all this. And so I'm just experimenting with fucking everything and anything to go do it.
Well, it's funny you say that, because this whole fucking podcast, I've been doing it for like a year and a half. It was never done with any idea of making money. But it's been, for me, it's been just fun. I just love doing this. I love talking to people, but I still never made money. There's no money being made. I can't see a way. I would love to make a way, but side projects and stuff, it's just like doing it for the love of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to pay my bills with that type of attitude, but it doesn't work. I think the bigger thing here,
you can pay your bills with love, bro. What an amazing.
Well, if you think about it conceptually from like a existential human point, like what's the point of all this paper that we will fight over? And there's definitely been fear where I have money in the bank that what if it disappears and really we become a gun society? We're a moneyless society. And people have been thinking about that. But I think overall we have way too much. I mean, people with money say shit like this, but I think we put way too much effort on the money.
Mm-hmm.
And there's definitely a lack of like, what's really most important. And I talked to this professor yesterday. He kicked my ass and I loved it. It was Asawat Damadoran. And he is one of my favorite people. I'm a disciple. And he's a valuations and finance professor at NYU. And he is putting out amazing content about the economy and about companies and so forth. And I was like, why aren't you just going and getting rich? If you could do these valuations, if you have insights about these companies that no one else is picking up. And he's like, I just want to teach. And like, what am I going to do with all this money?
Mm-hmm.
And his ultimate point, you already know what I'm going to get at, was just go, when you look back on your life, how do you want to reflect?
Yeah, man.
And so,
what do you want your legacy to be? Yeah.
And his was like, look, my legacy is how many people can I impact with my teaching? How many people can I get to think differently? And he's already gotten me thinking differently.
Sure.
And then the funny part about it, though, was that I was like, well, he's actually probably still pretty rich, though, from what he does on the side.
Look, man, this is I'm of the firm fucking belief that the richer we get, the better off we are, right? The world, I want everybody rich, right?
Well, can everyone actually be rich though? Is that technically?
Well, rich in the way that you're somewhat taking, I mean, you see it in our society now. Rich, not in the meaning of multimillionaire, rich in the meaning of you have time to contemplate your life because you have time, right?
Is that good or bad?
If you're working a coal mine in 1930, you don't got time. You come home, you eat, you sleep, you take a shit, and you go to bed, right? You don't got time to do that shit. You look at the suicide rates right now. The only reason those things are going up is because people are like, the meaning is gone, dude. They can't find meaning. It's hard to find meaning in a game of Fortnite, right? And so this is kind of a challenge of our society. When it gets so good, we begin actually, like, everybody starts contemplating the meaning of existence. And man, that's when you get hit. That's when you hit against a wall. And I don't know have you ever had a chance to like experience like a real long time off, like 6 months to a year off? Like when that happens, when you take that, like we were sold a company, 2004 or whatever. I took 3 years off, dude, you get smacked in the face where it's like everything you've got everything you want. You have money, you have time, you can literally do whatever you want and you're still miserable. And what are you going to do then, man? And
yeah, there's a favorite quote of mine. Is like, I'd rather be rich and unhappy than poor and unhappy any day,
Well, that's for sure, man.
So, I actually don't like having I like money. It's funny. I think my superpower is making money, but I don't spend it and I don't have a lot of material things. It's just the way, you said I would go to some eco, hostel, whatever, dude. I would look for the disc. I'm like,
hostel, no, bro.
I'm like, bro, is there a Motel 8 out there?
I'm talking $1,000 a night for some awesomeness, man.
I'm like, is there a Motel 8 out there? So, anyways, but I think my point though is that I think sometimes the fact that the people that are the happiest, like I don't want to hate on my mom, but there's people out there that I think are just working to get by and just living life and they're enjoying it. And
yep.
I don't think they're spending as much time thinking about what's the purpose of my life. And sometimes, a lot of it is actually, I think that's better. I think the only difference.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But I think
the only difference that I think really matters is that do they have as many freedoms or choices that they particularly like? And so on one side, that might not be best, but on the other side, it's probably pretty damn good for them for the most part. And I think they're probably a lot more fulfilled and satisfied with their life than, some schmo like me that, not right now. Right now, I'm super fulfilled with all this stuff. But for a lot of time, I'm like, what do I, because I have all this time. I'm like, what do I do with
I
my
get
life?
it, dude.
And it's like, fuck, boo-hoo you, dude. Get off your goddamn, like, hype, so.
But that usually comes around after success. I'm pretty sure you weren't necessarily thinking that. I'm just talking for myself because I see it in myself. Like I wasn't thinking that way when I was 20. When I was 20, I was like, how can I put myself in a position to like have enough where I can be like retired or live the good life or whatever, right? And then when you get that, you're like, oh shoot, what the hell, man? And so you start doing other stuff, and that's where I wanted to go next. Was like ayahuasca, because we got less than 10 minutes.
Bro, I love it. All right, yeah, because I'm gonna go
You
bike
did the ayahuasca.
I
did.
Take
your trip. You did take like trip to Israel, right? For me, that says to me, hey, he's looking for something. He's looking for that like little bit of meaning or something in your life. Tell me about it.
I think in general with all of us, Adam, we all want to give different meanings to our life. And so we'll go to the grocery store and something will happen and the box falls on our foot and we're like,
this fucking sucks.
Or, I was going to say like, I really got to respect my grandmother more. And you're like, why did this box of fucking gefilte fish falling on my toe impact me that way? And so I think as humans, you said it earlier, we self-preserve, right? So right now, as things are tightening up, people are like, I got to fucking defend myself.
Yep.
And, it's why, if you watch Nature Channel, the animals defend the cubs. And so I think with ayahuasca and self-exploration, there's a component of looking for insights and looking for rationales or justifications, things that may not be true.
Sure. And
I think understanding yourself is helpful, but I don't know if it always makes life better.
I agree. Yep.
And I don't know. I like reading about myself. I've liked therapy. I've liked ayahuasca. I think there's different.
Wait, did you like ayahuasca when you were running away from the fucking ceremony, bro?
No. And I did it a second. So another time I didn't put it out there. That was the first ceremony. I did 3 days, and I've done a second one for 3 days. And I think I've kind of hit my peak of doing it. I think it's a different tool. It's a tool to release. I've done a bunch of different drugs, and these drugs in different contexts can provide you different insights. Like I did shrooms in San Carlos, Mexico, about a month ago. And during the hike, I had some really interesting insights about my mother-in-law. I had some crazy insights about my office manager, not mine, but the office manager.
Sure.
And some insights about my mom that I don't know if I would have had them while I was biking or if I was sitting.
Amazing, man. Yeah.
And so I think these tools, and people call them medicines, and I do believe that. I think these tools and medicines do provide another way to understand things and help you become a better person and live a more fulfilled life. Yeah. But it's not either. The problem, here's the number one problem though. It's not easy. Like if you want easy, right? Yep. I'm trying to think of like an easy way to go do it. Go sit and meditate for 5 minutes and maybe that'll solve it.
No way. No, do that for 40 years, right? I mean, look, man, we know, if you've built anything, easy it doesn't exist, man. There is no easy. Easy doesn't exist. If you really want meditation to make an impact, dude, I meditated for years. I saw the blue light. I've had the oneness experience, all of that. And you come out of it still and you're like, oh, and I'm still here, right? It didn't last or whatever. Or you have, guys who do the DMT trip and you take off and you're somewhere else and you see somewhere else and you're like, this is real. And you come back and you're like, what the fuck? I'm still fucking, there's still that thing here, right? We still got to muddle through and figure this out, man. Right. And
it's weird. I won't want to say it's easy because everyone's got a different life and everyone's got different priorities. Like, my brother's telling my mom all the time, you got to go to therapy. You got to fix your shit. I don't think this is not her game right now. And, she's, 60s and so it's not something that she's going to go do.
Yeah.
And so I think different people have to ask themselves which parts of their life are they wanting to go deeper on. If it's something, I think generally the answer to me is if it's something that you're asking yourself, like, hey, I'm not fulfilled. Hey, I feel like I'm plateauing. That's probably the sign that you should be exploring whatever means possible to, to keep growing and challenging yourself, blah, 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 fulfillment.
blah, 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 fulfillment.
No, but you know what I mean? The same old
shit.
Dude,
I love it, man. I fucking love it. That's exactly right, man. It's funny because I had a guy on the podcast the other day who started this juice company called Soul Tea. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like cold pressed glass bottle. The ultimate in like, hippie-ish kind of nature, product. I mean, it's the ultimate, right?
Okay.
It's like the peak experience for that. And we're getting into it, and he lives on a permaculture farm here in Costa Rica, but he's built a really, big business back in the States, and we're talking about it, and he's getting into the spiritual nature of it and all this stuff. And I've been through the whole, meditation and retreats and all that shit and stuff.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, he's like, because every day he's posting on Instagram and making juice and all this shit, and he's like, at the end of the day, it may not even fucking matter. I may just be fooling myself. And I was like, fuck yeah, man. I love that, dude. It's just like somebody who actually realizes that we may be convincing ourselves that this is right or this is the best. And at the end of the day, we all may be just fucking fooling ourselves, man. We all just may be in the matrix.
Everyone is trying to live their best life, man. Like you are, I am, everyone is. And so, however, I think the hard part sometimes, I don't think getting what you want in life is hard. I think getting what you want in life is actually the easy part. I think figuring out what the fuck you actually really want, what I really want, and that evolves and that changes, and some things don't change. And you have to think about, a bunch of my friends were shorting the market and made all this money. And then I was like, am I a fucking dumbass? Should I have shorted the market? Why are they smarter than me? And you have to think about, what do I really want? And I was like, that's, and I did think about it. I went biking, came home, wrote down what I thought. I'm going to put out a video about what I did with my finances during this time. And I think the point with that is that everyone's got to just figure out in whatever way possible what they really want. Because going after it is fucking easy if it's something you really want.
It's true. I mean, I can tell for myself, I've put off for years going after what I want, going after even thinking about what I want, rather I'll just float through and not actually like decide this is what I want to do. And you absolutely hit the nail on the head for me there. That's 100%, man. Anyway, bro.
No, I got another minute or two. You got anything else?
Hall Drop. How's that going, man?
What do you think of it? You talk to me about it.
For me, I'm like, products, I love AppSumo, dude. I love it because I can't tell you how many I bought, probably dozens of product on that site, right? Because the stuff is really enticing. It's enticing in a way that it's like, ooh, I do need that. I do need that social media tool, or I do need this, or you know what I mean?
Okay.
Or wow, I do need Be Live. I want to go live and be able to put, I do need that, right? While Hall Drop is more like, for me, it's like it's almost like walking into Costco and you see like those, I don't know, the drum set or something. You're like, ooh, drum set. But do I really need it? I definitely don't really need it, right? It's more like the design. I don't know what they'd even call it. Like
that's
Costco.
Interesting.
It's like the things that are the momentary, like, oh wow, that would be cool. Ooh, wow, that would be cool. But I don't know how. It seems like that might be tough. Maybe it's like an email. Like you're obviously like the king of email.
I'm not king, but like I would say queen. But thank you.
You're pretty damn good at fucking email. So maybe an email a day. Like, look at this wicked product. This is the wicked product of the day, or something like that. Might be an interesting way to propose it to people, rather than I got to go visit the site and look at what's happening. Hey, this was the top product of the day, and this is a really cool product. Might be the way where I don't have to visit it. I don't have to think about it. But ooh, Noah's hit me with the top product of the day, and it's, I don't know, fucking a cup that self pours in my mouth. Fucking, I want one of those, man. You know what I mean? Something, I don't know. Interesting.
So we've tried a lot of different businesses and a lot of different ideas over these years. And I think what I've had, we all have a special talent. You do, Adam. I do. Your wife does. My fiance, everyone out there has some talent. Maybe it's being lazy. Maybe it's being an alcoholic, whatever it is. Everyone's got something. And I think my ultimate talent is an evangelist. I am the non-religious evangelist of the world. And specifically, I evangelize around creators and products that I admire. And so we've done that on the software side with AppSumo. Right now, it's with, we have specials on these products, but I think there's a very soon future where they're not always specials, but it's just what's amazing tools to help you grow a business. And then I think on the product side, there's so many amazing creators. And it's not that I want consumerism and more materialism. I just think there's amazing creators that have no fucking clue how to get the word out about their new products.
No, that's 100%, man. 100%.
And I think we're at a great place to say, either we're going to promote people making amazing products, or we give them the tools like SendFox or KingSumo or whatever that is to go do it themselves.
Okay, 30 seconds. I got a product, right? And I don't know how to fucking market it, right?
What's this product?
There's an herb that if you put it on your tongue, it changes your taste buds, right? So sweet it basically kills all sweet flavor, right? So I made it into basically a spray it on your tongue. basically numbs the tongue to flavor. So wax out when you have food. The idea is that you spray it on the tongue, wax out your food buds, your taste buds. And so you eat less because food is like, it's weird, not so great. Don't like it as much, as a way to lose weight. How should I market that, man?
So you know what I realized about my marketing? I really only can market the products that I like. I'll tell you, there's my friend's buddy created this forum for like people dying. And he's like, hey, how do I market it? And I was like, one, it's just not my, and it's not, I don't mean to give it as an excuse. And there's
I get it. You're one
there's principles. I don't even think I'm a great marketer. I just think I find things that it's literally my calling to go put them out in the world.
Gotcha.
It's like, 100%. Yo, this thing is so fucking good that I'm going to do whatever it takes. I don't know which way it's going to take or how I'm going to do it, but that's my take. But there's fundamentals and principles. So you have a thing that changed taste. So does it make things taste better or worse? So how does it make it taste?
Worse. Yeah, worse. Mm-hmm.
So does it make you like discouraged from eating fatty shit?
No, just sugary, sweet shit. Yeah.
Okay. So do I eat it before I eat that?
Yeah, you got to spray it on your tongue before you eat. Okay.
And then, so who would this be? Because basically marketing is only who and where and what are they buying, right? And then maybe why are they buying it? But like, so who is this person for? Who is this for?
This product's for someone who wants to lose weight and is, I don't know, basically that. But, do I have the niche down? I don't know, honestly.
So I think you're way too broad. So let's just start with that. Your who needs to be, I am targeting fat women that live in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
No, I'm serious. Like the more
granular, right?
Yeah, the more narrow, not granular, whatever you want to call it, the easier it is for you to be successful.
Right.
So if it's then the question is, where are those people and why do they want it? So the thing that I always like to do next is, what is the easiest way for me to go approach those kind of people? Because a lot of times when people are, starting businesses, the first thing they do is, let me do ads, let me go post online, let me go do random shit. And my thought is always like, why don't we try to focus on who we already have access to and who already knows us?
Yeah. Yep. Dude, that's why you're good at this, man. That's why you got millions in the banks, brother. No, it's hard to do. The average human like myself, who's an idiot with marketing, just doesn't even know where to begin, right? And thanks for that tip, man. I appreciate that.
I don't think you're an idiot, but so what are you planning on doing? One thing.
I don't even know if I'm going to do it, man. A million ideas come through. That was just one that I was like, ooh, that one, it kind of, there are ones that kind of stick in your brain. Like that's been in my brain for a year. And like when I went back to the States, a couple months ago, I actually purchased 50 pounds of the stuff. And I was like, let's start making this shit. And, moving the ball forward though. And I'm just like, it's kind of like you get stuck I do anyway, get stuck kind of midway through creating something new. Cause actually the thing that I'm like, oh man, how am I even going to get this out to people? Like to even just try, you know what I mean? Or to even know if it really works, right? It might do the opposite. Like it might make food taste like shit. And so people eat more, it might have the
Do you have anyone that you could reach out and try to sell it, pre-sell this to?
Right. No, I don't have anybody, man. No.
So why the fuck would you make that?
I was thinking of actually just doing getting with a school or something and doing a trial, right? And just basically give it out and do a small clinical trial to see if it does anything. Do it that way. But I don't know, man.
So yeah, I think you're doing what most people are doing incorrectly. And when you start a business, I think there's many ways to get to the destination of a successful business and a sustainable one. But I always like to do the least risk possible and least cost spending possible, which is part of risk. And so it's like, well, who do I have access to? How do I save time? And how do I not spend a lot of money to find that out?
Yeah. You're a genius, bro.
I'm not, dude. I just
You're a genius, dude. Dude, Ed, how are the guns doing today, man?
It's not bad, dog. I'm gonna go do some push-ups. I'm gonna get a bike ride in, and then I gotta having some friends over for chicken wings at 7.
Sounds great, man. Thanks so much, dude, for joining me. I really appreciate it, brother.
Okay, dude.
All right, man.
Kick a lot of ass. Thank you for having me on. I'll see you in Costa Rica. Let's get some sponsored. When Costa Rica's back open, ask the government to give me some money. I want to fly out. See, look how I'm trying to get a deal. I have to get a deal.
Dude, you can stay at my house, dude. I got a house at the beach, Manuel Antonio. I'll hook you up, man.
You actually don't seem like a creeper, so I would take you up on that 100%. There's all the internet is full of the reason we work online is because we're creepy. If we weren't creepy, I'd work at a bar. All right, buddy. Let me know when you guys are open. I'm gonna come hang out with you in Costa Rica. We'll do some coke, some hookers, and then use
my
eco-friendly
wife might have
soap.
a problem with that, but maybe we'll do some ayahuasca, brother. Later, man.
All right, man. Later. Thanks for having me. Bye.